protection, here to stay. On your path the truth unfolds, guides will whisper, stories told. Let your journey now begin, in the magic let's dive in. So tell me, what do the cards reveal? What's the truth they conceal? She's the high priestess with the key to every question that's haunting me. A lover's heart or a warning from the past. In the terror's embrace, I'm spellbound at last. Truth's come undone, it's a dance we must face. In the chaos I find my place. In the tarot's embrace, I'm spellbound at last. Truth's come undone, it's a dance we must face. In the chaos I find my place. The moonlight glows, the veil is thin. Moon of infinity will call again. Thanks for walking in the light, where guides whisper pure insight. Until we meet, the cards will wait. Mystic whispers guide your fate. With every message our spirits send, for cosmic dreams our souls transcend. Hello everyone. Happy Thursday. I hope you guys are having a wonderful week so far. I'm glad that I'm able to go live again this week because I don't know what tomorrow's going to hold for me and if I'll be able to be on. So glad to be here tonight. Thank you guys. Thank you for liking. I don't necessarily need to know what number like you are. I was just kind of kidding in the chat. As long as the number of likes I have match the number of questions dropped, that is fine for me. That's good enough. I don't need to be like super particular about knowing the order or anything like that. So thank you guys for following that instruction. For free reads, that is the only thing I ask. And then make sure that you're here for your turn. Let's go ahead and get started with the free questions. All right, Space Cowboy, are you in the chat? Please check in with me. Can Soul Child also check in, and Nessa as well? Oh, Nessa's here. Okay, Soul Child is here. Space Cowboy, if you're in here, please check in. We're going to start with Soul Child. So, Soul Child, I'm going to need you to rephrase your question to something different. I don't do questions in regards to legal matters, contracts,
settlements, things like that. It's part of my disclaimer. If you're new here, you're more than welcome to read my disclaimer in the description of the questions I answer and don't answer. So if you can please ask something different, that would be great. We're gonna go with Nessa now. Let's see, Nessa. Nessa is a maybe. I have the Two of Swords in reverse. We have the Lovers, which is a free will. So I think, Nessa, that this is definitely a outcome for you. It's definitely a possibility. However, with a maybe, I can't give you any guarantees. It was the Two of Swords in reverse and the Lovers clarified. So I think this is a contender. I think this could be the father of your child or children, but I don't think it's set in stone. All right, soul child. All right, this is for soul child rephrased. Will soul child be able to pay bill by end of this week? I am getting a no, 8 of Swords and 5 of Pentacles. We are going to skip over Space Cowboy since they have not checked in. We're going to move on to Michael Johnson. I have a yes for Michael, 3 of Pentacles. You're welcome. Brittany. Brittany, I have a no, the Death card. Del Carmen. This looks like a yes for me. Justice for Del. Shirley. All right, will she be a good person to train for? Or to train, yeah, to train for. I'm gonna say yes. It seems like a good match. Ace of Cups. You just had the 8 of Cups as well, which means that at some point someone's gonna walk away from this. So maybe it's something that just isn't long term potentially. I'm not sure what that's about, but Margaret. I have the Lovers. That's a yes for me. Gemini. So that's going to pop up to your home Saturday. Knight of Swords. Knight of Swords is a no for me. Three of Swords at the bottom of the deck. The only silver lining to that card is that this card does talk about someone acting very impulsively, meaning that they can decide randomly at the last minute to do something spontaneous like this. It's not in the cards right now. It's not like a decision that this person has made consciously. It's not the outcome, so I'm going to tell you no. But what I am going to tell you is with the Knight of Swords energy, it is unpredictable. So if a last minute decision is made, that could change the outcome here. Nessa, you're welcome. Michael, you're welcome. She has horses she needs help with. Hopefully she'll pay you what you're asking for. Yes, I don't know how many months she can afford. Oh, that makes sense. Okay. Thank you for that. Margaret and Gemini and Shirley, you're welcome. Sophie, I see that you said hello at 10:03, so about 11 minutes ago. But after that, I have not seen a question for you. So if you can, repost for me because I don't have your question. All right, this is for Maya. For Maya, I'm getting a yes. The world. All right, guys, I'm going to go ahead and close down the list and get through the last few people that I have because that's about going to be right at 15. I'm going to tell you guys who I still have on my list just so everyone knows. All right, I've got Sweeter. I have Sakshi, Scorpio, Amy, Sophie, and G's. And then I'm going to be moving on to donations after that. This is for Sweeter. Please make sure if you dropped a yes/no question, you are liking the live stream. Sweeter, I'm getting a yes. Wheel of Fortune. Sakshi, make sure that whatever question you post, you are sure about that question because sometimes I'm not going to see that you edited your question. I did this time, but I'm not always going to. So do not post your question unless you are sure that that is the question you want answered, okay? Yes, I got your donation on Cash App. I'm going to get to you in just a minute. All right, Sakshi, let's see your answer. I have a yes for Sakshi, the Knight of Cups. Scorpio Brit. It looks like a no, 5 of Cups. Amy. Yes, Ace of Cups. Sophie. Not yet, Sophie, but I think you were working on that path. I have the Page of Cups. This is for G's. For G's, I have yes, 10 of Pentacles. All right, everyone. That is it for the free list. Sorry if you missed it. If you still want your question answered, it's $5 to do so. I went longer than usual to answer those last few questions, so sorry if you missed it. We are going to move on to donations. First on my list is for M. So M, if you can check in with me and let me know what you would like to work on. Hey, Jarella. 16 minutes after I started the live stream, I posted free list closed, donations are open. It looks like you posted a couple minutes even after that, so I'm sorry you missed the free list. Question is along with the payment. Okay, let me see here. All right, M, and this is for an in-depth reading, right? Cool. All right, let me get shuffling for you. Just a moment. All right, girl. So you got lots of new energy. We have a few aces here. The Fool. This is all talking about things coming in for you rather quick, but also it's new energy, a new person. Couple indicators that this is a official relationship. So this is one that you enter and say, okay, we are together, we are boyfriend, girlfriend, etc. This is like a leveling up into a actual relationship. Sometimes when I see like the Empress or the Queen of Pentacles, as I do in this reading, this could indicate potentially even marriage material, meaning that this is someone who sees you as someone who they would eventually want to marry and or just be in a life partnership with if marriage is not on the table. But if it is, then they're going to be looking at you as like a great match to be with long term. You also have the Ten of Pentacles, which can talk about then in that case, this new energy, like I said, it's like a leveling up. The new energy that I'm feeling could potentially be a proposal. How long have you guys been together? Because I have the Ten of Pentacles. What I was going to say before I read your comment was that this is like growing old with someone. I feel like this person wants to marry you. And girl, I think he's looking for a ring. I think he may not have bought it, but I think that he's looking because I have the Ace of Pentacles, and whenever I see the Ace of Pentacles, it reminds me of a proposal, like a ring or like a very big gift. And at this point and stage in your relationship, then he's probably doing some shopping. I'm not going to say outright he has like bought this ring or anything, but he could be doing some kind of window shopping, looking online, looking at prices, maybe trying to figure out what kind of ring he wants to get you, and then try to determine how long it will be until he can afford something like that. So I feel like it's kind of in their mind, basically. So for example, maybe the consideration is to propose to you within a year. How much can I set aside? How much can I put together so that way I can have this amount of money by the end of it? Like, I feel like the wheels are turning here, Ems. This just, like I said, feels like very, very new, fresh energy. And with the Four of Wands talking about like an official relationship or a leveling up of a relationship, it feels like this is the person, or this person is looking to propose. Lots of cards here indicating growing old with someone, marrying them, becoming a wife. The Queen of Pentacles and the Empress are both wife material, but they're also like mother of my children material. So I feel like this person is seeing you as someone who they want to build a life with. Looks like I got another donation, so I'll be with you momentarily. Has this connection been kind of like, I don't want to say rocky, but has there been like certain interference that you've had in this connection where it's like sometimes things are going really smooth, sometimes maybe not so much, and it's almost like you guys are working things out for a better future? Because that's kind of what it feels like to me. is that this person has a lot of like care for you, a lot of love for you. And like you're always there for them. And like when they think of you, you're like the main person for them. You're like their partner, you're their person, their best friend, that kind of thing. Um, I feel like for your person, they kind of go back and forth between, or maybe it's the two of you together, between like being impulsive and wanting to move forward, but then also feeling like you need to have patience, even though you want things to progress. So I am kind of getting that maybe this person's kind of coming around to like preparing for the future and preparing for what could possibly come from this connection. So I feel like they're more forward thinking right now, they're more future oriented, and I feel like maybe they feel either this is the solution to any issues that you guys have so that you can be together more often, or or they feel like maybe things are starting to like look up, or like there's light at the end of the tunnel, and that this is just the natural next step for him. Yeah, regardless, the Four of Wands always tells me that you're taking the next step in the relationship, regardless. So the Four of Wands is always like, where are you guys at? If you are dating, then the next step would be entering a relationship. If you're in a relationship, the next step might be moving in together, or it might be getting engaged. If you're already doing that, then the next step would be actually getting married, etc., etc. So it's like it's the Four of Wands is kind of catered to you as a couple, who you are, what you're looking for, what your interests are, what your natural next steps would be. But it always indicates an upgrade. It always indicates something new and fresh that's coming in for your connection that feels like a deepening or like a strengthening of that relationship. Gotcha. Yeah, that's probably something he's ruminating on at this time. Definitely. Is there anything else you wanted to add on for before I move on to the next person? All right, good. You're welcome, Em. Absolutely. It was a pleasure to do a reading for you. All right, the next person on the list is Techie. Techie, if you're here, please check in with me. Any updates on situation with MG by the end of the year? All right, let's see. Oh my goodness. Sorry. That's probably how it's going to be for this live stream. Updates on situation with MG. So I asked if he's coming back. Just to confirm, the energy has not changed. I am getting a yes, the Fool. So that coming back feels like maybe not returning to like their prior position, but coming back around is kind of what I'm picking up. So I remember saying that they were going to come through maybe even sometime this month, I think I said. So for me, it feels like a reconciliation. It feels like a reunion. I feel like also too, um, oh, so sorry. With the Six of Swords here, it's kind of like he's trying, like this is very intentional for him. Like he's wanting to make sure that he comes back around, sees you, talks to you, interacts with you, etc. I feel like this is something he is doing on purpose. So it may be under the guise of something else, but he's definitely coming back to try to see you. So maybe he's like, oh, I was just stopping by and just wanted to like see everyone, but really he's there for you and you alone. So, whatever it is that brings you guys back together, just know that his main plan is to be in your presence again. I don't know why, but I get the impression that when you guys see each other again, it's like other people are around. So like he wants that one-on-one time with you, but he feels like he's not getting it. Like he's trying to just kind of focus in on you and just spend time with you by yourself. But I'm getting that other people are around, maybe talking to him or just like in the area, in the vicinity. It's like it feels like there's public and there's like a desire for some one-on-one time. Almost like he's trying to be sneaky with it. Like I feel like he doesn't want to fully let you know that this is his plan. I asked about the remainder of the year and I got the 10 of Cups. So that will tell me that you guys are working towards alignment, harmony. With that energy, it means that you probably will be able to find time to spend together before the end of the year. Outside of your workplace. And this time together that you will have, that you will make time for, is very effortless. So what I mean by that, sometimes when people try to make plans, it's like things are constantly coming up. Oh shoot, like I actually have to work today, someone called out, and we have to reschedule, or like, oh my god, I got a flat tire, or like just, oh, I've hit traffic. I know we only had an hour, but I'm probably going to be able to see you for like 15 minutes. Like that kind of universe stuff that kind of can get in the way that you can't really anticipate happening. This 10 of Cups energy is like it's alignment, it's harmony, meaning that like you're not going to have to force it. You're not going to feel like you're forcing time spent together. You'll feel like it's just easy. It's just effortless. If you make plans, nothing comes up. It's not like you have to cancel or reschedule. It just feels like things are easier towards the end of the year for you guys to spend time together. So yeah, it might be the in public thing that I'm picking up on. It might be like maybe the first meeting that you guys have. And then after that, I think there's like this desire to make more set in stone plans. He's coming through as the King of Cups and the Emperor. So there's parts of him that wants to reveal his emotions, and then there's parts of him that wants to play it cool. But either way, he's coming through very mature, open-minded, maybe even a little strategic. Like he's wanting to kind of take the lead. I'm getting that a lot with the King and Emperor energy. see. I think once it's confirmed for him that there's mutual interest, I think you'll see a different side of him. I think you'll see someone who wants to make the plans and, be more eager to see you, spend time with you, set dates and things like that. Like, I think you're going to see a different side of him wanting to kind of take over and just say, like, all I want is to spend time with you, so I will make the plans. And he just kind of takes over, because right now I think you get from him a little bit of like the background stuff, like he's kind of hanging out in the background and you're not getting like much from him. But I think that once he realizes that this is mutual with him, I think that he will kind of step up to the plate a little bit more. If I said that before tonight, I think the energy is still the same, Techie. As far as romance goes, I will say, for me, kind of intuitively, what I'm picking up is that he wants to just make more opportunities to spend time with you. It is with romantic intention, but I think it's not like before the end of the year, I don't think he's trying to like be physically affectionate with you, or like, unless it feels natural. If he doesn't want it to feel forced. So essentially, if like it comes up naturally, then that's great for him. He does have romantic intentions with you, but because there's not much time left of the year, he might feel the better play is to just find opportunities to spend with you where you guys can get to know each other, again, with romantic intents. Yeah. I see, that's appropriate. Sounds good. One more question. All right, so I got for your mini reading. How did old friend Jay feel when we ran into each other a couple of days ago? Let's see. I'm getting that this person feeling very reserved, meaning that they're kind of holding back in the conversation. Um, there could be an element of surprise here. I have the Five of Cups and the Lovers. Five of Cups is reversed. There's a little bit of regretfulness here, meaning maybe you guys caught each other at a bad time. There's like a holding back that I'm feeling very strongly, almost like they couldn't fully engage in the interaction. That could be due to many, many, many different reasons. That could be like they were in a hurry, they had somewhere to be, they didn't want to be rude, but they really had to go. I don't really know what this is, but there's kind of like this feeling of like a challenge. It could also indicate maybe they were caught off guard, didn't know how open to be with you, maybe felt it best to just go on with pleasantries and then move along. But there's some kind of feeling of being restricted, reserved, kind of holding back that I keep getting here. I have the Eight of Swords, the Four of Pentacles, that's restriction and reservation. I also have the Devil, which the Devil is kind of like that stuck or attached feeling. I have the Seven of Wands, which indicates like overcoming a challenge or feeling like obstacles in your way and needing to get through, which was kind of making me wonder if maybe he had somewhere to be, and he couldn't fully like immerse himself in this interaction. The Eight of Cups also talks about walking away. So, you know, if this J person, let's just say, play devil's advocate, let's just say this person had like romantic interest in you a long time ago. They felt like they had to let this go. Five of Cups in reverse. Or maybe this is someone who they felt they had a strong connection with you, and now you feel like a stranger. There's just like this air about the interaction, which is like it's not a bad thing. Even if you guys like, I feel like, how do I say this? Jay passed through moment, but you always thought he had a crush on you. That would make sense. The Lovers and the Five of Cups in reverse. I think that there was something kind of unexpected about this. Caught off guard is what I would say. Maybe a little bittersweet, because the Lovers kind of speaks to having potentially like feelings for someone, but the Five of Cups feeling like maybe if it didn't work out yet, it's not going to work out now. I think he had a lot on his mind, but maybe you just kind of brought up old memories. But I feel like there was stuff that maybe he felt like he couldn't say, he had to hold back. I think it was just like a little bit of everything, like a walk down memory lane, but also feeling like there was a lot on his mind that was going through what he, was feeling, and feeling as though he couldn't really like communicate that. There's just like this, anything I say is not going to change anything. So it felt more like let's just be pleasant. Let's keep things very surface level. Exchange those pleasantries and move along. This person could potentially still have something for you, but I don't think it's realistic to them to pursue you. Maybe still feeling like, oh, she still looks good, like, she's that girl that I remember, kind of thing. But feeling like maybe this is where we leave it. Yeah, I mean, with the Lovers upright and the Five of Cups in reverse, I think any reader would interpret this with the possibility of someone having romantic feelings for you, but having to let that idea go. like letting that idea go, but maybe reluctantly, like not wanting to, but feeling like that's what you've got to do. You're very welcome, Techie. Hey, Taka. It just came through. I got it. I am ready when you are, Taka. Okay. Update energy on Jay's with the distance with us right now. I pull back a lot, at least with communication. If I do reach out, it's very dry and only work related. Work is hella busy though. We had brand visits today. I'm so happy they didn't pick my store. Oh dear. Now I'm doing doubles because I'm waiting for my inspection. It'll be unannounced. Oh no. I'm still a bit hurt. I'm really big on loyalty. I always respected him. Yeah, and I take it he hasn't apologized to you. Oh dear. It's like very embarrassing. I mean, for you, you're probably like humiliated, but for him, I think he's very embarrassed. I think he's determined to make this up to you, but he doesn't know how to go about doing it. I have the 5 of Pentacles. So he really feels like you are officially shutting him out. And this is not the place that he necessarily wants to be. But I asked if he has plans to try to like make amends with you. And I am getting a yes, but it's the 3 of Cups, which tells me that he's not going to try to do this as like a one-on-one situation. He probably is going to try to involve someone else to be a part of this, either this conversation, maybe like the coworker that told you all of this in the first place, or he might be seeking out someone's advice on how to approach you and then come and approach you. But I feel like he's almost like looking to do this through someone else or get ideas or like he might even be like another interpretation of this could be like going to someone and being like, hey, do you know if she even wants to talk to me? Like trying to get the intel before actually approaching you first. So I'm kind of getting from this reading that he does have the desire to make amends with you, or at least try to have some kind of clarity. Maybe he knows that this is not going to be the same, or it's never going to feel the same, but I think he doesn't like this place that you guys are in. He sees this as a challenge, 7 of Wands, something that weighs on him. And again, this kind of does go back a little bit to his need to be liked. But at the same time, I don't think he likes this energy and dwelling in this place where he feels at odds with you or he feels at a distance from you. And I feel like his natural instinct is to kind of just go right in without thinking and just trying to fix this. But I think from his perspective, he knows that rushing into this is not going to be the best approach, that he needs to think this through and make sure that he's, number one, not catching you at a bad time, but also making sure that you're open to some kind of communication from him. Like, if I can be honest, it's like he feels a little scared. I wouldn't say he necessarily feels intimidated by you as a person, but your personality and the way that you have been displaying yourself to him recently, it does make him move with more caution and feel like, okay, I need to have all my ducks in a row before I try to fix this. So his energy just overall is wanting to clear the air, wanting to apologize, try to make things better, being very aware of the distance that has been created between the two of you, but also wanting to make sure that when he does come forward, it's strategic. Like he is catching you at a good time, in a good mood, so on and so forth. Because I think he wants to make sure that whatever he does, you are receptive to that. Was his actions? Oh, second question is his actions. Maybe I can do a time frame, like whenever work gets less hectic. Hopefully things are more normal. Yay, your birthday's in 2 weeks. Is that Libra? That's hectic. Okay. So your time frame is when things kind of slow down, when the chaos kind of subsides. What actions can you expect from him at that point? Happy early birthday. Okay. Oh, girl. I'm on the same wavelength as you. I'm like falling asleep over here. I'm working, but I'm like, if I have too much time in between readings, I will legit fall asleep. I'm not even kidding. All right, let's take a look. And it's too late to drink any kind of caffeine or anything like that, so I just gotta push on through. I definitely see that the two of you will feel less stress. to be able to feel more open, I guess, to one another. Let's see. I'm getting like a strong impression that what you guys make of this is kind of how it's going to go. And my intuition is that this connection might be fractured, frayed, like I don't know. And honestly, can I say, Taka, I feel like it's more from your side. I feel like this has really put just like a bad taste in your mouth when it comes to this person. And I think that it would take a lot of groveling from him, a lot of apology, a completely changed demeanor and approach. And, you know, I don't think that he plans to really tuck his tail between his legs, so to speak, and just like grovel. Like, I don't foresee that from him. And I really feel like that's what you would need in order to not get the ick with him, in order to not, because like I feel like almost as like time is gonna go by, the longer he takes to kind of own up to this and like be accountable, and like I think you're gonna start to lose interest in him because in your mind you feel like you're starting to see true colors. Now it doesn't retract from anything that I have already said, which was a couple days ago. Whereas I really think this came out a lot more harsh than what he was intending and never wanted you to hear this perspective. But I feel almost like you're a Libra, okay? So you want to see both sides of things. You want to see and hope that he is going to come through for you and really find a way to make this up to you. But I don't think it's ever going to amount to the. And as an air sign, it's very, very easy for you to cut someone off. Like once you feel like they have nothing more to offer to you, once you feel like, I don't know, it's like for some reason air signs get to the point with relationships where there's just no turning back. You know, if it's gone, it's gone, and you can't get it back. And air signs are just very, very much like that. Geminis especially are like, okay, once we're done, we're done. Aquarius, I can see doing that too. Libra, I think you're a little more diplomatic about it. Like you're willing to give a little bit more of a chance. But I also feel like if the spark is gone, it's gone. And maybe too little, too late. So Taka, with his actions, I don't think that they're measuring up after things get less hectic. I think between your opinion of him that's constantly evolving and your experience recently paired with his lack of really kind of trying and making like a grand effort for you, I think all of those things combined is kind of like, does this fade out? And like I said, I think it comes more so from your side. I think, you know, for him, he might just say, well, bygones be bygones, because maybe this is just how it was supposed to go. Whereas you would be looking from him for some kind of, big apology and like really this person making this up to you. And I don't feel that from him. I kind of feel like it's a shot in the dark, and I feel like it's a matter of free will and will he or will he not. And it doesn't mean that you guys aren't going to get back to a working and compatible relationship, meaning like a working relationship. It doesn't mean that you guys can't clear the air and just get back to being co-workers, but I feel like this has really done some damage, more than maybe I even originally thought. Where it's going to be really hard to get that like romance back that you would be looking for from this person, and feeling like they did you dirty, and like, why am I going to put myself out there again with this person? Almost like you lost trust in a way. And yeah, I feel like this really sets you guys back. Like if something does come between the two of you, I feel like for whatever reason it's going to take even longer, just because you're going to need to feel like you can trust the man. Libra is all about truth and honesty and being fair, and I feel like you felt you were treated unfairly, and like he wasn't being truthful with you. Either he was lying to this other girl or he was lying to you, and you want justice. Like, you're looking for justice, and his actions, even when things quiet down a bit, his actions don't feel big enough. And like I said, you guys could potentially clear the air, but I think the trust is like gone, and I think it's going to take a while to build back up in what you would need from him. I don't necessarily feel like he's prepared for. So yes, the stress is lower. I think you guys become more receptive to one another, maybe to get yourself back into a better place, but I don't know how far this can go romantically at this point. And I feel like from him, he's going to want to just make sure you guys are okay. And I think what you're needing from him is something more than that, you know? So, I do think things get better. I do think that things get to a more amicable place between the two of you. You probably will get an apology from him, or him trying to come provide understanding or clarity for you. But I think that a lot of that physical and attraction and like all of that, like more like the romantic side of things, I think that's shot, and I think it's going to be harder to get back to that place. You're welcome, Taka. I hope you have a good rest of your night. I know you'll be okay. You'll be fine. You really don't have the option not to be right now just because of how busy you are. But I understand the curiosity for when things start to kind of die down. But just keep your chin up. Focus on the important stuff, and let's just hope he comes around at least and tries to make amends, which I think he wants to. And you guys will just have to take it from there. You're welcome. Have a good night. Thank you. It looks like I got a donation that came through. If that was you, feel free to check in with me. If you donated, one came through, just check in with me in the chat. Okay, I see that you have to wait to talk in the chat. That works. We will get to you as soon as you can come in. Hey there, no worries. Go ahead and post your question whenever you're ready. All right, so you wanted to know Berg E. How is Berg E feeling at the moment? Does that say you ended the reconnection? Is that what you were saying there? After sensing he just wanted attention, you think expressed your feelings and wanted to know how he felt. Okay. Alright, so how's this person feeling at this moment? You told him how you felt, but he really didn't respond to what you expressed. Okay. Lucky, you're gonna have to donate if you want that question answered, okay? Hmm. This person is feeling like they are not measuring up in the way that you want or the way that you need from them. Um, I think that there is a deep insecurity that this person has within themselves that kind of stops them from actually wanting to try harder. So, for example, if you needed this person to show up in a more consistent way, I feel like there's something within them that really does desire to be with you, but they have an insecurity that stops them from really pursuing or going after what it is that they want. So, this is an interesting message because I don't think I've really given this message to anyone before. If I have, it's not felt this way. That there's a drive, um, like magnetism from him. Like he feels this attraction for you and like this connection to you or these feelings for you. There's like something here that's really driving him. However, whenever is it like maybe he doesn't feel good enough? I'm like trying to understand this what this is here, because I was like, like, where is his interest, like what is it he wants? I have the Ace of Cups and the Three of Swords, so it's like he feels like he won't measure up. He feels like he is not good enough. He feels insecure about this. He feels scared to go after what it is that he wants, not for the sake of um not for the sake of rejection. He doesn't have a fear of rejection with you or anything like that. And it doesn't necessarily even mean that he has a fear of like a relationship. It's just he can't really put his finger on why he doesn't try harder. It's like he just lacks that motivation. He lacks that ambition um to put forth more effort. He kind of allows things to just flatline. Like he's like, "Oh, call it quits. Guess this is how it's supposed to go. Do not resuscitate." Like I don't feel like he has that drive, that motivation, that willpower that I think you're looking for in someone. Um I feel like it could just be part of him that's lacking it. I think there's a lot of people out there that really just don't have that quality, and they just allow to kind of settle for being average. But I feel like when it comes to you is like the King of Pentacles in reverse. It's like I don't see this person wanting to work to become better, to be a better version of themselves, to provide to you what it is you need. And he's like, I'm not available. Like, I don't know how to feel, but I'm not available. And the King of it's like I'm trying to understand while I express this, feel how he is feeling. And I'm having a hard time because I'm just not this person. I'm not this kind of person that he is. But there's no determination from him to try harder, to be better, to put forth more efforts. And I feel like that's what you're dealing with is his lack of ambition. And it may not even just be in your category. It may not just even be when it comes to you. It may be like just who he is in life and how he approaches life in general with anything. He might half-ass everything in his life. He might half-ass his career. He might half-ass his friendships. Like, I don't feel from him this like harnessing this like talent that he has, you know what I mean? And it feels like a waste. It's that he truly doesn't want to be a better person. He wants access to me, but wants to maintain being somewhat of a player. When I require anything, he throws his hands up. Yeah, so like for him, he just wants, right, it's kind of like a relationship of convenience. It's like if we're not going against the grain, if I'm not feeling resistance from you, then I'm here for it. But the second that you challenge me, then I don't want to be a part of this. And what's really sad to say, Mia, is those kinds of people very rarely ever grow out of it. I don't know your exact situation, but I can speak from experience that I have had a relationship like that specifically. It's probably the only relationship I ever had like this specifically, but this was probably, I'm trying to think. I've been with my husband now almost 10 years. Um this was before him, but it was just before him. So I would say probably 12 years ago. And I don't really check up on this person, but what I will say is from what I understand, from what I hear, from what I know, even 12 years later, this person's still doing the same shit. They're going to the same places, they're hanging out with the same friends, they're, living the same life. There's been no evolution. There has been no growth from this person. And we're talking 12 plus years, okay? of time passing, and this person's just staying in place and not really moving forward. And maybe little things here and there have changed for them, I don't know, but it's like the habits, the patterns, the schedule, the routine, all of that has not changed in that long of a time. And I think to myself, thank God I didn't like stay there. Thank God I explored something new, because that sounds like hell. And that's actually really sad to look back and think that maybe Barrick will be in the same situation. He will not change. You will have moved on. You will have built a life. You will have changed careers potentially, found someone new, gotten married, bought a house, all that stuff. And to think that this person has just like frozen in time, it's really sad to see. And I think that it's very possible you're dealing with that kind of person. I know he won't change, just sad because I've known him for so long, but I'm realizing this is who he is. Yeah. I mean, I've definitely dated people who have like a lack of motivation. That was sometimes that was the reason for me to not be with them, because I needed someone with the same drive and ambition that I have. And if I wasn't seeing that in someone else, then I was like, well, you're not going to grow with me. You're just going to hold me back. But this is different. This situation you're dealing with is not just about not having a passion or not having ambition for that passion, something that drives them. Your issue is that this person accepts mediocrity in complacency, and you don't want someone to be complacent and mediocre when it comes to you. You want someone who's going to soar, who's going to evolve, who's going to grow, who's going to say, okay, you don't like this about me? That's cool. I'll work on that. What else do you need? Like, that's the kind of person you need to be with. And I feel like this person just settles in everything. And I think that that's just an incompatibility for you, unfortunately. And I feel like in his mind and how he's thinking and how he's feeling for you is just, I'm good settling. If she wants more from me, then I guess I'm not going to measure up to that. It doesn't mean that there's not feelings here or attraction here. It just means that there's an insecurity within him, a block, if you will, that stops him from desiring any kind of growth. And therefore, when you're looking for something more from him, he's not providing that to you. And it kind of goes in a circle. And I notice, or if you notice, that once you do challenge him, once you do speak up for yourself and you offer some kind of resistance to him, he kind of crumbles and folds away, because he doesn't want that. He doesn't want to deal with it. He doesn't want to become better. And it does suck, like, when you've put time and effort into a connection, when you have a history with someone or you've known someone for a long time, it's like you don't want to give up on that. I think it's called like a sunk cost fallacy. Let me Google it. I'm pretty sure is what it's called. Yeah, so it's a sunk cost fallacy is what you're experiencing right now, where you're reluctant to abandon this person because you've invested heavily in it, even though it's clear that abandonment would be more beneficial for you, even though it's clear walking away from this would be more beneficial. It's like when you've put so much time and effort and energy into someone and spends like so much time trying to make something work, it's like you don't want to walk away from it. But there's a philosophy, a theory out there, and it's basically stating that you should. It's more beneficial for you at this point, Mia, now that you kind of know who he is and you've seen the patterns and all of that. It's more beneficial for you to walk away. But of course, like, we don't judge over here on my channel. I do understand that everyone is on their own journey, and sometimes you really just have to get someone out of your system, and you're not going to be ready until you're ready. So, my job is here to try to guide you as best as I can and hope that that helps you make the best decision for yourself. This connection is over for sure. LOL. I just didn't know his headspace and what I expressed. Yeah. If you want to know if what you said affected him at all, like if it's something that he is, dwelling on or ruminating and like thinking through and that kind of thing, not really. I don't feel a lot of thoughts coming from him towards what it is that you've said. I almost feel like he's kind of just accepted it and just said okay and moved on. Like I feel like what you would have liked from him is maybe some vulnerability, some accountability, some understanding in your position and your perspective. And even if he wasn't able to address that right away, you would have wanted it to matter to him, to have made an impact to some degree. And I feel as though he's almost like moving on, like he's living his life. And it's almost like what you had said just kind of alerted him to the fact that you're looking for like him to try harder, and that's not something he wants to do. So that was mostly like an answer to his questions, like, do I continue to pursue this with Mia? Do I continue to move on with her? And he was like, this is telling me no, because she's wanting more from this than I want to give. You said, thank you, because that's exactly who he is and what I don't want to experience. Wow, he just blew it off, and it was really articulate and profound. Very hurtful. I'm sorry, Mia. I'm sorry. I'm glad that you were able to get things off of your chest. Unfortunately, this might be one of those situations where you're going to have to provide your own closure for yourself. And it sucks when we waste our words and we waste our time on people who it doesn't matter and it doesn't land and it doesn't affect them. And it's hurtful because we want to feel like we matter and the things that are important to us matter. But I hope that you choose to see this as like more like an answer for yourself as well. You're welcome. And if anything, you'll walk away from this connection. And if it's anything like how it happened with me, was I walked away from my barrack and I met someone new and my barrack came back, and I was stuck in a situation where I had to decide the new person or the old person. And I decided the new person. And I didn't fall back into that old cycle, and the universe was testing me and saying, are you sure you want something new? You want to go back and learn another lesson? And I said, no, thank you. I'm done with that lesson. And I moved forward. And now I'm married to that person that I chose. So you never know. You could fall into that same category where he tries to come back, but make the right choice and move on with someone new, is what I would say. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your night. I am actually going to sign off here myself. I hope so for you too. You guys have a lovely rest of your evening, and I will see you next time.